Ladies and gentlemen, true strength and masculinity are often misunderstood concepts in today's society. Many people associate being a man with physical power, dominance, and control. However, these ideas are shallow and incomplete. True strength does not come from how much weight a man can lift or how loud his voice can be. It comes from his emotional intelligence, self-control, and ability to protect and uplift those around him. A real man understands that his power lies not in intimidating others, but in showing compassion, patience, and understanding, especially towards women. Society has long perpetuated the notion that men must be tough, aggressive, and stoic to be considered masculine. This outdated belief system creates a false image of what it means to be strong. A man who feels the need to exert control over others, especially through violence or manipulation, is not strong. He is insecure and fearful. Strength is about mastering oneself, not dominating others. A real man recognizes that emotional vulnerability is not a weakness, but a sign of maturity and strength. He understands that being emotionally open allows him to build stronger relationships and connect with people on a deeper level. Purchase, self-control is the critical component of true strength. Life is full of challenges, frustrations, and moments of anger, but how a man responds to these emotions defines his character. It is easy to react impulsively when emotions are high, but it takes real strength to pause, reflect, and choose a thoughtful response. A real man does not let his emotions dictate harmful actions. He understands that hurting others, especially women, is not a solution, but a failure of self-control. By managing his emotions, he demonstrates strength in its purest form. Calmness in the face of chaos, and patience in the face of frustration. Strength also involves the responsibility to protect and uplift others. A real man understands that his role is not to overpower, but to empower. Women are not to be controlled or dominated. They are equals who deserve respect, love, and kindness. Protecting a woman does not mean treating her as fragile or incapable. It means standing beside her, supporting her dreams, and ensuring she feels safe and valued. This protection is not rooted in dominance, but in partnership. A real man uses his strength to create an environment where women can thrive, grow, and feel secure. And so I think it's a collaboration. Masculinity should be defined by a man's ability to inspire and uplift, not intimidate and harm. A man's strength is shown in how he treats those who are vulnerable, how he stands up for what is right, and how he confronts injustice. This strength is quiet but powerful, seen in the way he listens, understands, and supports. A man who uses his influence to bring positivity and kindness in the lives of others exemplifies real masculinity. His actions reflect inner strength that is far greater than physical force. It is essential to recognize that masculinity is not threatened by kindness. In fact, kindness is a profound expression of strength. When a man chooses to be kind in situations where anger or aggression could be easier, he shows incredible inner power. Being kind does not make a man less masculine, it makes him more human. This strength of character fosters trust and respect in relationships, creating a foundation built on understanding rather than fear. Additional strength lies in accountability. A real man is not afraid to admit when he is wrong. He understands that making mistakes is human, but repeating them without reflection is a failure of character. When a man takes responsibility for his actions, he shows integrity and strength. This accountability extends to recognizing harmful behaviors in himself and others and taking steps to correct them. A real man continuously works on self-improvement. because he knows that strength is a lifelong journey of growth and learning. In relationships, strength manifests in the ability to communicate openly and honestly. A real man does not hide behind silence or pride. He engages in meaningful conversations, listens without judgment, and expresses his feelings with clarity and respect. Communication requires vulnerability, and vulnerability requires courage. This emotional strength deepens connections and fosters a healthy, supportive environment where both partners feel valued. True strength also includes standing up against societal norms that perpetuate harmful behaviors. A real man challenges stereotypes that suggest men must be dominant or controlling. He actively rejects toxic masculinity and promotes a culture of respect and equality. He speaks out against injustice and supports efforts to create a safer, more inclusive society for women. This kind of strength is transformative, influencing others to adopt the same values and behaviors. But you know, true strength and masculinity are reflected in how a man treats others, especially women. It is about using emotional intelligence, self-control, and compassion to build relationships based on trust and respect. A real man understands that his greatest power lies in lifting others up, not tearing them down. He knows that hurting a woman, physically, emotionally, or mentally, is a betrayal of his own strength and integrity. By embracing these principles, a man not only honors the women in his life, but also becomes a role model for others. Strength is not measured by dominance or control, but by the ability to love, protect, and support. A real man embodies this strength every day through his actions, his words, and his unwavering commitment to kindness and respect. Respect and empathy are the foundation of all meaningful and healthy relationships. A real man understands that every human being, especially women, deserves to be treated with dignity, kindness, and compassion. Respect is not just about politeness or courtesy. It is a deep acknowledgement of a person's worth and individuality. Empathy, on the other hand, is the ability to genuinely understand and share in another person's feelings. Together, respect and empathy create a powerful combination that guides a man to interact with women in ways that are uplifting, supportive, and honorable. As a father, I helped create a framework for honoring my daughters Cleo Ritters and her hot yoga teacher Tatinka. In today's world, there are many misconceptions about what it means to respect women. Some view it as simply refraining from harmful actions, but true respect goes far beyond not causing harm. It means recognizing a woman's independence, intelligence, and right to make her own choices. A real man does not belittle a woman's opinions or dismiss her thoughts. Instead, he listens actively, values her perspective, and engages in meaningful conversations where her voice is heard and appreciated. This acknowledgement of her ideas and feelings is a profound form of respect. Empathy plays an equally important role. When a man practices empathy, he strives to understand a woman's experiences, emotions, and struggles. He does not judge her based on stereotypes or societal expectations, but instead seeks to comprehend her unique journey. This understanding allows him to be more patient, compassionate, and supportive. Empathy bridges the gap between individuals, fostering emotional connections and trust. It encourages a man to be more thoughtful in his actions and words, ensuring that he does not unintentionally cause harm or discomfort. And his vocabulary is so varied that it might be stressful, but my point, a real man recognizes that respect also means honoring boundaries. Every individual has personal limits, physical, emotional, and mental, that must be acknowledged and respected. A man who respects a woman never pressures her into situations where she feels uncomfortable or unsafe. He understands the importance of consent, and ensures that his actions are aligned with her comfort and well-being. This kind of respect is not situational or selective. It is consistent and unwavering in all interactions, whether public or private. Respect and empathy are also about celebrating a woman's achievements and supporting her ambitions. A real man is not intimidated by a woman's success, but is inspired by it. He recognizes her hard work, intelligence, and determination. He becomes a source of encouragement rather than competition. This supportive attitude fosters mutual growth in relationships, creating an environment where both individuals can thrive without fear of judgment or resentment. Respect means recognizing and challenging societal norms and stereotypes that contribute to the mistreatment of women. A real man does not engage in or tolerate jokes, comments, or behaviors that degrade or objectify women. He understands that seemingly harmless remarks can perpetuate harmful attitudes and normalize disrespect. Instead, he uses his voice to speak out against sexism, inequality, and injustice. This active stance demonstrates not only respect for women, but also a commitment to creating a more just and compassionate society. Empathy also involves acknowledging the challenges women face in daily life, whether it be discrimination, harassment, or societal pressures. A real man takes the time to educate himself about these issues and reflects on how he can contribute positively to change. He does not dismiss or downplay a woman's experiences, but listens with an open heart and mind. By understanding the struggles women face, he becomes more conscious of his own behavior and more dedicated to fostering safety and respect in every interaction. Respect in relationships goes beyond grand gestures or public displays. It is found in the small, everyday actions. A man who listens without interrupting, who shows patience when emotions run high, who recognizes when support is needed without being asked. These moments of respect and empathy may seem small, but they build a foundation of trust and love in any relationship. A real man also understands that respect is not conditional. It is not something given only when it is earned or when it is convenient. Empathy teaches a man to consider how his actions impact others. He becomes aware that words can heal or harm and chooses them carefully. He recognizes that his behavior influences how safe and invited the people around him feel. This self-awareness leads him to act in ways that are compassionate and considerate, ensuring that his presence is a source of comfort rather than fear. In moments of conflict or disagreement, a real man maintains respect and empathy. He does not resort to insults, manipulation, or aggression. Instead, he seeks to understand the other person's perspective and resolve conflicts through open, honest communication. He knows that disagreements are natural, but that how he handles them reflects his character. Through patience and understanding, he works towards solutions that honor both parties' feelings and needs. A man who practices respect and empathy also inspires others to do the same. His actions set a positive example for friends, family, and the wider community. He encourages other men to reflect on their own behaviors and to adopt values of kindness and understanding. This influence can lead to a ripple effect, fostering a culture where women feel safer, valued, and supported. Respect and empathy are not optional traits for a real man. They are essential. They shape how he views and treats women, guiding him to be kind, supportive, and just. A man who truly respects and empathizes with women understands that these values are signs of strength, not weakness. By embracing respect and empathy, he not only uplifts the women in his life, but also becomes a better, stronger version of himself. Emotional responsibility is a fundamental aspect of true strength and character. A real man understands that managing his emotions is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of maturity, self-awareness, and inner power. Life is filled with challenges, disappointments, and moments of frustration, but how a man responds to these emotions defines his true nature. His character is defined by his response to them. It's his character that controls his heritage and what he does on the deepest level. Connection. Many people grow up believing that men must suppress their emotions, or conversely, that expressing emotions like anger is a sign of dominance and strength. This outdated notion can lead to destructive behaviors and unhealthy relationships. A real man knows that emotional suppression or uncontrolled outbursts are not marks of strength, but of unresolved inner struggles. He does not allow his emotions to control him, nor does he use them as excuses to harm others. Instead, he takes ownership of his feelings, recognizing that while he cannot always control what he feels, he can always control how he reacts. This level of self-control is what separates strength from weakness. Taking emotional responsibility also involves understanding the consequences of one's actions. A man must be aware that words can cut deeply and actions can leave lasting scars. In moments of anger or stress, it can be tempting to lash out, but a real man pauses and considers the impact of his behavior. He understands that acting on impulse can damage relationships and trust. Emotional responsibility requires a man to step back, reflect, and choose to respond in ways that are thoughtful and respectful. This discipline not only prevents harm, but also fosters healthier, more meaningful connections with others. Part of being emotionally responsible is recognizing that emotions are complex and that they often stem from deeper issues. A man who is in touch with his emotions takes the time to understand why he feels a certain way. If he feels anger, he asks himself what is truly causing it. Is it frustration over a situation, fear of vulnerability, or a sense of inadequacy? By identifying the root cause, he can address the issue directly rather than displacing his emotions onto others. This self-reflection is a powerful tool for growth and prevents destructive behaviors that can harm relationships. Emotional responsibility also means breaking the cycle of blame. It is easy to point fingers and hold others accountable for one's feelings. However, a real man knows that his emotions are his own. He does not blame others for how he feels, nor does he expect others to manage his emotional state. This mindset empowers him to take control of his reactions and seek healthy ways to process his emotions. He might choose to talk about his feelings, engage in physical activity to release stress, or practice mindfulness to center himself. Whatever method he chooses, he ensures that it does not involve hurting others. A man who practices emotional responsibility also understands the importance of communication. Rather than bottling up his emotions or expressing them through aggression, he communicates openly and honestly. He expresses his needs, frustrations, and feelings in ways that invite understanding rather than conflict. This kind of communication fosters trust and emotional safety in relationship. When a man can calmly express when he is upset or overwhelmed, it allows for meaningful conversations that can resolve issues without escalation. Emotional responsibility creates a safe space for both partners to share and grow together. Emotional responsibility requires the humility to admit when one is wrong. No one is perfect, and even the most self-awareness man can sometimes let his emotions get the best of him. However, a real man acknowledges when his behavior has been harmful and takes steps to make amends. Apologizing sincerely, reflecting on mistakes, and actively working to change harmful patterns are all signs of emotional maturity. His accountability not only repairs trust, but also strengthens relationships by showing that he values the people in his life enough to correct his behavior. Another key aspect of emotional responsibility is the ability to set healthy boundaries. A real man understands that managing emotions also involves recognizing when situations or relationships are toxic and taking steps to protect his mental and emotional well-being. He does not stay in situations that provoke constant anger or frustration, nor does he engage in relationships where disrespect is normalized. By setting boundaries, he demonstrates respect for himself and others, ensuring that his emotional state does not deteriorate to the point where it causes harm. A man who takes emotional responsibility is also proactive about self-care and emotional growth. He engages in practices that support his emotional health, such as seeking therapy if needed, engaging in creative outlets, or spending time in nature to recharge. He understands that emotional well-being is not something that happens by chance. It requires active effort and care. Number 4 in healing more fully is to recognize and embrace your own inner process. By prioritizing his mental and emotional health, he ensures that he is in the emotional responsibility extends to how a man influences those around him. His behavior sets an example for others, family, friends, and even strangers. When he demonstrates calmness under pressure, patience in frustration, and compassion in conflict, he inspires others to handle their emotions with similar care. This positive influence contributes to a culture where emotional intelligence and self-control are valued over aggression and dominance. Emotional responsibility is about owning one's feelings and choosing to act with integrity, respect, and kindness, regardless of the circumstances. A real man understands that being emotionally responsible is not always easy, but it is necessary. It protects relationships, builds trust, and fosters environments where people feel safe, heard, and valued. And lastly, and most importantly, the real man, by managing his emotions thoughtfully and responsibly, a man demonstrates true strength, not through control over others, but through mastery of himself. Building healthy relationships is essential for a fulfilling and meaningful life. A real man understands that relationships are not built on control, dominance, or fear, but on trust, communication, and mutual respect. Healthy relationships thrive when both partners feel valued, heard, and supported. A man who genuinely cares about the well-being of his partner focuses on creating an environment where love, understanding, and emotional safety are the foundation. He recognizes that relationships are partnerships, not power struggles, and he works every day to nurture and strengthen that bond. Trust is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship. Without trust, insecurity and doubt can slowly erode the connection between two people. A real man earns and maintains trust by being honest, reliable, and consistent in his words and actions. He does not make promises he cannot keep, and he communicates openly even when the conversations are difficult. Trust is not given freely. It is built over time through genuine effort and integrity. A man who values his relationship understands that honesty is more than just telling the truth. It also means being transparent about his feelings, intentions, and boundaries. He avoids deceit, manipulation, or half-truths, knowing that honesty fosters security and openness in the relationship. Communication is another vital element in building healthy relationships. Many relationships fail because of poor communication, misunderstandings, or the inability to express emotions effectively. A real man actively listens to his partner without interrupting or dismissing her feelings. He understands that communication is not about winning arguments or proving a point. It is about understanding and connecting. He takes the time to understand his partner's perspective, even if he doesn't always agree, because he knows that every relationship is built on compromise and empathy. Effective communication also involves expressing his own thoughts and emotions clearly and respectfully. He does not expect his partner to read his mind or guess his needs. He shares them openly, creating a space for mutual understanding and growth. Mutual respect is at the heart of every healthy relationship. A man who respects his partner treats her as an equal, recognizing her thoughts, opinions, and feelings as valid and important. He does not belittle her achievements or dismiss her struggles. Instead, he celebrates her successes and stands by her during challenges. Respect means valuing each other's individuality and allowing room for personal growth. It means accepting differences and embracing the uniqueness that each person brings into the relationship. A real man understands that love and respect go hand in hand. Without respect, love cannot truly flourish. That means the ultimate truth about culture matters so much if love is to be respected. In a healthy relationship, both partners feel emotionally safe. Emotional safety means knowing that one can express vulnerabilities, fears, and insecurities without fear of judgment or rejection. A real man creates this safe space by being compassionate, patient, and understanding. He does not use his partner's vulnerabilities against her or make her feel small for expressing emotions. Instead, he listens with empathy and offers comfort and support. This emotional safety encourages open dialogue and deepens the emotional connection between partners. When both individuals feel safe and secure, they are more likely to share their authentic selves, leading to a more genuine and fulfilling relationship. Support is another crucial aspect of a healthy relationship. A real man actively supports his partner's dreams, goals, and ambitions. He does not feel threatened by her success, but is proud of her achievements and encourages her to reach for more. He understands that a healthy relationship involves two people growing together, both individually and as a couple. This support is not limited to career goals or personal ambitions. It extends to emotional support during difficult times. Whether his partner is going through stress, loss, or self-doubt, he stands by her, offering a steady presence and unwavering encouragement. Boundaries are also essential in healthy relationships. A real man respects his partner's boundaries and establishes his own. Boundaries are not barriers, they are guidelines that ensure both partners feel respected and understood. He understands that personal space, time alone, and individual interests are important for maintaining balance in the relationship. He does not take offense when his partner needs space. Instead, he respects her need for self-care and independence. Similarly, he communicates his own needs and limits, ensuring that the relationship remains balanced and healthy. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, but a real man handles disagreements with maturity and care. He does not resort to insults, manipulation, or aggression. Instead, he approaches conflicts with the goal of understanding and resolving issues, not winning or being right. He remains calm, listens to his partner's concerns, and expresses his own feelings respectfully. He recognizes that disagreements are opportunities to strengthen the relationship by addressing underlying issues. By focusing on solutions rather than blame, he contributes to a more harmonious and resilient relationship. Thanks.